Your best marketing idea might be hiding in the story you almost skipped. And that is annoying because we want branding to feel fancier than that. We want the big idea. We want the perfect tagline, the beautiful funnel, that offer stack that just kills, the content calendar with color coding and a little drop-down menu that makes us feel like we have our life together. Which is great. It's wonderful. But now what? Sometimes the best idea, it's not hiding in a strategy document, it's hiding in a story that you told like it was no big deal. So I was recently on Jen Josie's Rain podcast, and we were talking about what makes someone memorable. Real estate investors, we're talking about entrepreneurs, experts like you, I'm talking to you. People are good at what they do, but they still sound like everyone else. And I told this story about a real estate buyer. But I want to expand on it here because this is not just a real estate story. This is a branding story. This is a positioning story. This, just like saying this, you are probably sitting on your best idea and walking right past it like it is a sock on the floor story. So here's what happened. I was talking with a wholesaler friend, and in fact, had a one-on-one only statement audit with me, a one-on-one. He's a good guy, really good at what he did. He was getting deals, definitely not failing. Because that's important, because a lot of people think branding is only for people who are struggling. I say nope. Sometimes branding is for people who are already good, but invisible. Could that be you? So he told me he was doing about 2 or 3 deals a month, which is good for a wholesaler. But he said something very real. He said, if I could just get 1 or 2 more a month, my life would change. Not 100 more. Wasn't looking at world dominations. Not I need to become the Elon Musk of distressed properties. Just 1 or 2 more deals a month. And that's the kind of sentence most entrepreneurs understand. Because sometimes you're not trying to build an empire by Friday, you're trying to get 1 or 2 more of the right people to notice you. So we started talking, and his marketing sounded like a lot of real estate marketing. Tell me if you've heard this before. We buy houses. We pay cash. We close fast. Fine. That's all true. It's also a warm glass of beige milk. Everybody says it. Everybody sounds the same. And when everybody says the same thing, nobody hears it anymore. So I asked him a simple question. What seller appointment do you remember? That was it. Not what is your brand essence, not what is your unique market advantage, not what's the deepest truth of your entrepreneurial soul. No. Just what seller appointment do you remember? That's it. That prompted him to tell me this story. So he was running late for a seller's appointment, and he was starving, and it was lunchtime. So he didn't have time to stop, eat, and still make the appointment. He also did not want to show up and eat in front of the seller like a raccoon with a burrito. I know you're picturing a raccoon with a burrito now. You're welcome. So he called the seller and he said, hey, I'm so sorry. I've not eaten. Do you mind if I bring lunch? What's your favorite lunch spot? She said, Chipotle. Well, thank goodness, because if she had said some fancy steakhouse where the menu just says market price, the story gets much more expensive. So he goes to Chipotle, gets her order, spends around $25. Both had guac, and guac is always extra. Shows up, sit down, they talk, they chat, they eat, and he listens. That's the part that matters. He listens. She talks. They break bread, or in this case, they break a burrito bowl. There's something different that happens when people eat together, right? The wall drops a little bit. The sales energy kind of fades, and the human shows up. 20 minutes later, signs the contract. He makes $8,500. Now to him, the story was, I was hungry. That was it. But to me, the story was very different. The story was, you're the buyer who brings lunch. And he looked at me like I had just pulled a raccoon out of a mastermind, or a rabbit out of a mastermind. That would have been the funnier line. Well, what are you talking about, he says. And I said it again, you're the buyer who brings lunch. That's the brand, right? That's the hook. That's the thing people can remember. Not because lunch is magic, not because Chipotle has some secret wholesaling sauce, although honestly, it might now. It worked because it was human. It worked. It was also a repeatable story the seller could tell. And that's what most marketing is missing. You don't want to tell more noise. Obviously, you want to tell a story people can carry, people, because who are you going to remember? Are you going to remember the 14 people who said we pay cash and close fast, or the buyer who brought lunch? Exactly. So I told him, do that every time. And of course, he pushed back, because we all push back when the thing that might work sounds way too simple. So he goes, every time? I said, yeah, every time. So let's do the math, right? So let's say you go on 100 seller appointments, and every one of those seller appointments costs $2,500. Quick math, boop, 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 boop. That's $2,500. One contract is $8,500. That's a net of $6,000. And by the way, if you go for 1 for 100 on seller appointments while bringing lunch, we may need to have a different conversation about your business. But here's the bigger point. The other 99 are not wasted. That's marketing. Because what happens after you leave? Talk, right? They may tell a friend. They may tell a neighbor. They may tell someone at their church. They may tell someone at a barber shop. And what are they going to say? They're going to say, this guy came over and brought me lunch. That $25 becomes a story. The story becomes a memory, and the memory becomes trust. And what does trust become? An opportunity. That right there is branding. That's not a logo. It's not colors. It's not that Canva carousel that took 3 hours and somehow still made you question your life choices. Branding is what people remember after the interaction is over. And that's what the part of most of you miss. You're trying to sound impressive, but impressive is way too hard to repeat. Specific is easy to repeat. The buyer who brings lunch. That's repeatable. That is visual. That tells me how he thinks. That also tells me how he treats people. That also tells me how he sees the person before the transaction. And that's a lesson for you. Your brings lunch moment absolutely exists. You may not call it that yet. You may think it's just too small. Maybe it's too normal to you. It's maybe too obvious. Is it too weird? Way too personal. Is that so silly? Way too silly? Too whatever. But that may be the thing. Maybe you're the consultant who sends the voice memo after the call so the client hears the key decision again. Maybe you're the coach who gives exact words instead of fluffy advice. Maybe you're the designer who notices how someone actually lives before you touch the room. Maybe you're the founder who still talks to customers directly because you refuse to get too far from the people you serve. Maybe you're the expert who makes complicated things feel simple without making people feel stupid. That's your lunch. And if that sentence sounds ridiculous, good. Ridiculous is easier to remember than strategic advisory solutions for growth-minded leaders. Please do not make me read that sentence again. The hard part is that you're too close to your own story. You've heard this before. You cannot see the label from inside the jar. And that's why when I work with people, I listen for the thing you skip over, that throwaway line, the casual story, that weird moment, the thing you say and then move past because you think it's not important. but it's usually the most important thing. That's what I did in television for over 20 years. People would tell us what they thought the show was, but most of the time, the real show was hiding underneath. May have been in the family dynamic, the weird behavior, in the one sentence someone said that made the whole room go, whoa, wait, wait, what was that? That is what I'm listening for with brands too, because your brand may not need to be invented. It may need to be discovered, may need to be named, sharpened, repeated. So here's a question. What's your version of bringing lunch? What do people already thank you for? What do clients repeat back to you? What do you do that feels normal to you but different to them? What's the story you almost skipped? That might be your only. If you don't know yet, go to findyouronly.app. That's findyouronly.app. It's free. 8 questions in under 8 minutes. And the new 2.0 version is live. We're still working on it, but take it now. It's going to be even better every day. It's going to help you pull the clues out of your head and start finding the sentence that makes you easier to remember. And if you want the full conversation where this story came up, check out my episode with Josie on the Rain podcast. I'm going to put the link in the comments below, right there. But before you listen to one more person tell you just to be authentic, go find the thing people are supposed to remember. Because your best marketing idea might not be something you need to create. It might be something you already do. You just have to name it. Be the only. Be the $2 bill.